there. It is January 7th, about 4.5 weeks post-op from my hip arthroscopy on December 6th. A couple new developments since I would say the 4-week mark, which was this past Monday, and it's now Friday. Monday was the 4-week mark, and since then I've developed a little case of tendonitis. Woohoo! Not everyone gets it, so I gotta say I'm pretty special. But yeah, tendonitis in the hip flexor, and we think that's partially due to the many hours I spent in the car over the week of New Year's. And I'm working with a physical therapist now we've added on some new exercises to hopefully help alleviate that. I'm really looking forward to it because I don't want to have tendonitis for too long. So I went to the physical therapist Tuesday and Thursday. I'm still doing twice a week for the next few weeks. And tendonitis will be the big kind of thing that we're working on, at least from my perspective, over the next couple of weeks, because I don't want to have it for too long. The mornings have been the roughest. I would say for about 3 hours when I first wake up. It goes from pretty excruciating, like a 4 or 5, to like a 2 or 3, and then down to a 0. So now it is about 7 p.m. and I would say my pain is at a 0 right now when it comes to that, so it's pretty good. One of the things that I'm doing with physical therapy is I'm laying down on my back and pushing against it. And I'm doing that in multiple positions, different angles, one closer, one straight up like this, 90 degrees, and then one more like 120 degrees. And so that is going to, and it already felt better. As soon as I did it today, and my last appointment was yesterday, felt better already. So I'll keep doing that every day. And then I'm continuing these other exercises. So here I'm pushing my knees apart, pushing them together, hip abduction, yeah, both of these. Gluteal sets, so that's just squeezing my butt cheeks. And then pelvic tilt, as you can see, I spilled wine on it because who's not drinking wine while doing this? And then these are kind of pelvic tilt where I drew this, I had to draw the picture because I didn't know what they were called. So drew my own picture there. So I have about 6 exercises, takes me about 15 minutes. Drastic reduction from the physical therapy I did from May to October. 5 months, every day, 40 minutes of physical therapy to ultimately end up having surgery anyways. So huge improvement here. I'm feeling good. I also had some struggles with insurance over the past few days. They had previously authorized my surgery before it took place, and then have since denied it because they sent multiple codes and they didn't understand with this surgery why it wouldn't just be umbrellaed into one surgical code. But since they're doing multiple things, you know, shaving down the cartilage, or shaving down the bone, fixing the cartilage, sewing things up, blah, 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 each one has a different code. So it was kind of an inevitable problem, I'm guessing, with insurance. But after spending too many hours, calling everybody, emailing the healthcare providers, all of them, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, my insurance provider, and other Payflex, my HSA too. I was like, can anybody give me anything here? It finally got to the point where I found out this morning, after an hour and a half of being there in person, that a nurse had sent an appeal into my insurance yesterday. Thank goodness. I'm so glad, because I was not in the best place. I was not in the best headspace. I mean, I'm already in a shaky headspace as it is with this whole thing. I just feel run down and broken, and there's too many variables and things that can go wrong. So any like minor shift is enough to like make me go off the deep end, but that made me feel a lot better. And to make me feel even better than that, this morning, part of the reason I was at Wilmington Health, the healthcare provider, in their office, I showed up an hour and a half early to my 1-month appointment. So my 1-month follow-up appointment was this morning, and got there earlier to deal with some insurance stuff, but stayed for the follow-up appointment. And he basically said, my surgeon said that still no twisting, so no twisting on the leg, no jumping, no running, no leg lifts, like straight up, Nothing that would kill the hip flexor, but I can, if I wanted to. I asked, like, is there any kind of cardio I can start doing, because it would be nice to start getting active. I think that's part of the reason I'm feeling kind of down these past couple weeks. He said I can start doing the stationary bike. I could do some water aerobic class thing, or maybe even swimming, I don't know. And in a couple weeks I can do the elliptical. He said to wait like until the 6-week mark, which would be in 2 weeks. But got approved for all that. I also got x-rays done this morning. X-rays look good. Things are back in place. That weird little bone chip is gone, and my femur is a good shape. Along with all of that exciting stuff at my post-op appointment today, next appointment is in 2 months. So that'll be, I think it's on March 4th. Yes, it'll be on March 4th. Something else I've been doing for the past week and a half or so is putting on this salve a couple times a day, all over the wound site in the leg. And it's made out of comfrey and St. John's wort. And what this is supposed to do, these ancient remedies, aid in a range of supposed ways. So St. John's wort is supposed to help with antibacterial and anti-inflammation properties. So people have been using it on wounds forever. And then comfrey itself is supposed to aid with joint and bone healing and other things like that. So both of these are plant-based. I figured, why not use it? Worst case scenario, it's just making my skin very hydrated, which is not a bad thing, because after that first week post-op, you know, I couldn't take a shower for 8 days. So my body had gone through this whole process of, okay, not showering, getting gross, getting really gross, and then around day 5, my body regulated itself and was like, no, we have regulated our oils, we don't smell too bad, and your skin's perfect, pH is perfect, everything's fine. It was like my body went through this weird crescendo of disgustingness, and then after that, for the rest of the days before my first shower, the oils all over my skin were just normal, which was a weird experience. Maybe I should do a separate video on that. So after that, I took my first shower at the 8-day mark, and my skin was so incredibly dry because all of the oils that my body had gotten used to were just gone. That I have not, like, the palms of my hands are dry. So I gotta get on some better hydration routines. I'm gonna keep doing my physical therapy, going to follow the surgeon and the physical therapist's orders. I'm not going to start doing any sort of stationary bike outside of the physical therapist's office until I talk to him next Tuesday. And another thing the surgeon said was I can get off my crutch whenever the physical therapist says it's okay. So we'll wait to hear what he says. He said it's gonna be a couple weeks, which is kind of a bummer. But if it means being healthy or not, then it's okay. So we'll see what he says, and that's getting close to 5 weeks. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. The insurance makes me wish that I never did the surgery, but everything else has been okay. So if you have any questions about insurance or the pain itself or tendonitis at this point, because I feel like I'm getting close to being an expert on inflamed hips, feel free to just reach out. I am currently in the surgeon's office and desperately trying to figure out why insurance has gone back in time to deny my surgery after authorizing it before it had taken place. It's extremely distressing. Nobody can find the original authorization, and nobody can find proof of anything. So insurance is just denying the whole thing. So I'm kind of struggling emotionally with that, because it makes it hard to concentrate on actually recovering when you're too busy figuring out whether or not you have to spend 10 grand out of pocket or not, or if something's just going to go into collections because insurance is being crazy. And on top of that, my insurance changed for 2022, because it is now, what is it? It's now January 7th. So it's changed. So I have new insurance and I'm working with old insurance. It's a mess. But anyways, more to come.